All right. Come on, kid. What do you say we go lighten the mood?
About the dynamite and machinery, can you elaborate?
Mr. Sable?
I want to give a massive shout out and huge congratulations to Tracy Butler and her entire crew working on Lackadaisy. Congratulations on making more than $1 million on your Kickstarter, which has only gotten started. The entirety of Lackadaisy Season 1 has been funded. This is amazing, and I'm really happy to say that I've played my part in this particular Kickstarter. I think that this is a show and a story that really needs to get out there to as many people as possible, have a chance to be in the limelight, and just entertain people with incredible, well-done independent animation with a phenomenal story, amazing characters, great music. It's the whole package. And guess what? You can help out too. You can help Lackadaisy continue to earn the money that it needs to not just do more episodes and fun little shorts, but to also make it possible for this series to be put onto Blu Ray, not just to be up here on YouTube, but to have actual physical media. And this is huge because when any story gets to that point that it can have physical media that can be literally physically passed on to other people, it is one of the best ways of spreading the good word of a good story, and it is something that stands the chance to be passed along from one generation to the next and become part of modern myth, and not just something that blipped here onto the internet, was really fun for a little while, and then vanished. Lackadaisy can be big, and you can be a part of that as well. So I will be putting the link to the Kickstarter in the description. Now, you might be wondering, Lars, why on earth are you doing this? Are you linked with the Lackadaisy project in any kind of way? Other than having donated some of my own money to it, no, I have not been asked to make this video. I am not affiliated with Tracy Butler or any of her co-workers or partners or anyone like that. But as an independent creator myself, as a novice author, as someone who's been doing self-publishing and who has gone through the pains of trying to take a story that you love and its characters and make them real for other people to enjoy, I understand how difficult that process is. Nowhere near to the same extent as Tracy and her people, because they're actually animating stuff and I'm not an animator, but I understand what's happening here, and I really want to give a shout out to a story, to a show that I think stands an excellent chance of really making a very positive impact. For starters, we cannot afford to lose hand-drawn animation. This is a medium that has stood the test of time now, well into the CGI era. It has lasted now for more than 100 years, and it stands to be lost if people just turn their gaze on over to CGI. Hollywood is definitely going this route because, according to their statistics, it is cheaper and easier to squeeze computer animators for all that they're worth in order to produce a Pixar or DreamWorks project, crank it on out really, really fast because you have got computers that can do so much of the computing and the working for you. You just have to create a base for all of these characters and for the environment, and then boom, you populate it. So supposedly it's supposed to go way faster than hand-drawn animation in favor of making a quick buck and burning through employees really fast. Hollywood has decided to reject classic animation. However, Lackadaisy and other projects like it are there to show us what can still be done with that skill, with that passion, and that they can tell incredible stories. And when you see Lackadaisy, it's hard to imagine this as being anything else. I don't want to see a CGI version of the story. I want to see it hand-drawn, because just look at how gorgeous this is. We need to do everything that we can to support 2D animation, to support traditional Western-style animation, because it is its own powerful medium with a long history, with a storied history that has still many tales left to tell. Now, another reason why I highly recommend supporting Lackadaisy is because of its story. Tracy Butler, you did a phenomenal job of not only doing your research on the 1920s and on Prohibition, but of incorporating all of these little bits into this incredible story. Lackadaisy feels lived in. It feels really weird to say that a cartoon is lived in, but that's because of how the characters and the world come to life. You have individuals who are not just bootleggers, but are veterans of the First World War. You have musicians, assassins, businessmen, mechanics, failed policemen, corrupt businessmen. You have the Secret Service, the really dangerous version of the Secret Service, showing on up to hunt down people who are evading their own evading taxes. You have just a huge plethora of all these incredible individuals who would have and indeed did live during the hedonistic era of the 1920s. And you also just see how this world is full of life, music, color, lights. The Roaring Twenties truly earned their name, and yet beneath that veneer, you have this horrible world of bootlegging filled with violence, murder, subterfuge, and these people, it's like gambling. The characters who are in on this venture to save their little speakeasy, oh boy. When you read the comic that has given birth to this cartoon, it is something else because you root for these characters. I love Rocky, I love Freckles, I love these two guys so much, and yet their story is doomed because it's like a gambling addiction. Once you get involved in this world of crime, it just continuously pulls you in and eats you up and destroys you. If you think that you just need one more job, you just need to bring in one more haul, come on, the big break is just around the corner. This is an incredible story with fantastic characters who are so lively, so lovable, living in this wonderful, fabled time in American history, and yet we see how the darkness and evils of Prohibition, the difficulties of immigration for some of the characters, as well as all these various kinds of prejudice, all get rolled in together to create this hard, soul-crushing environment. These are two sides of the same fantastic, glittering coin. And yes, I'm waxing kind of pedantic and poetic right here as I talk about Lackadaisy. But as a historian and as someone who loves a great story, these two things have kind of merged together to be like, this right here is the historical fiction that people want to have. This is such a beautiful and harrowing representation of what the Roaring Twenties were really like. This is in many ways like reading or watching The Great Gatsby, except with cats. And if you haven't watched the pilot episode yet, absolutely do it. It is full of so much passion and drive, and it is just gorgeously put together. It's so much fun to watch. So I'll also have a link for that in the description, so that way you can watch this if you haven't already done so, and then contribute to the Kickstarter, because if it's possible for them to reach the $2 million mark and actually convert the entire series on over to Blu Ray, that would be a phenomenal leap forward for independent animation. It would be a landmark within the larger cultural landscape, and it is something that could indeed be passed on further to other people to not only introduce them to a great story, but remind them of the power and potential of Western animation. So that is why I am doing this video. That is why I'm dedicating some time to this right here, because as a novice author, I think it is absolutely essential that I do my part and support other independent creators out there. And sure, you can also support me by checking out the books that I have published. Links for them are also in the description below. But definitely give Lackadaisy a try. It deserves your attention, and I'm pretty certain that it will earn your contributions to the Kickstarter as well. So, with all that being said, thank you guys for indulging me in this particular video. Thanks for joining us on this crazy adventure that we call writing. And until the next video, y'all, tschüss.
It's abundantly clear you forgot us down here.
There's more where that came from.